Well, I suppose I'm due to give you all an update. Um, haven't rolled out much about the farm here in the last couple weeks. It's been kind of intermittent, but the rains have let up now for almost 2 weeks that we haven't had a significant rain. And even throughout the rain, I was coming out here and I was able to do a little bit of work. But just wanted to show you what the plan is now, what I'm working on. Maybe I'd mentioned this in the past, but what I've got here is a pile of clay. It's all stockpiled clay. And right down in there is the deep end of the pond. It's every bit of 15 foot down to the top of that sand. And for a couple days I came out here, 3 or 4 hours at a time, and I was stripping overburden off that and I stacked it all up over here. So this is basically what's going to be the west edge of the pond, assuming I don't have to go further west to get more clay. I don't think I will. So everything here in front of me, at a minimum, is going to be as deep as that hole there. So it's a lot of volume, a lot more than you realize when you look at it from up above. But what I'm doing today, I had to go in and patch up the rest of this part of the levee. I used to have my little short levee, if you remember from way back when we did the original clearing work. I had a little short levee, and then when I got out here this summer after I bought the excavator, the last summer I guess now, 15, I got all excited and I broke that levee and started digging out this right here that was the top end of the pond. And why I thought that was a good idea, I don't know, but it came back to bite me, because when we finally got standing water back out here in the trees again with all the rains, now I had standing water connected to the top of my pond, so I couldn't dig any more of this part of the pond because I'd have connected up with all the water out in the trees and flooded everything. So had to get that patched up. It's by no means perfect because it of course was sinking and squishing, but I was up here working on my mats. You can see I got my mats laid out. And just flipping more overburden back up there enough that I've now reconnected it so that it won't flow in. But I think by the end of the day today, that's going to look completely different. I'm going to have all that filled in and have it all piled up several feet above grade. And that's what I'm working on now. Is see the machine sitting here, and I've started breaking all this right in here is all stuff that I've just broke out in the last 10 minutes or so down to the clay. And so I'll work over here and leave me enough room that I can kind of slope off the pond dam. But that's going to be the name of the game today. It's just flipping overburden back and trying to open up more access to this clay, so then I can start stacking that clay up above grade and keeping it dry. And I'm sorry the camera's shaking, but I am shivering. It's like 60 degrees and kind of sunny, but just a slight breeze blowing, just enough to chill you off. But I got my dozer guy out here running today for a couple hours anyway. He's just running around patching all the ruts that I've made over the last few months, I guess, with it being rainy and I'm playing in the mud. So got him working, just trying to clean things up a little bit. We're not doing any real significant, not really pushing any high volumes of dirt. That's not the plan. The plan forward, as I think I've mentioned, is to get all this opened up and get ready to move some crazy clay, and then I'm gonna see about renting an off-road truck, an off-road dump truck, and one of the big ones, and getting it in here. So, and then move all my dirt in a couple days instead of moving here and there a little bit. Anyway, that's the plan. Just want to give you guys a little update, and I'll try to remember to give you an update at the end of the day, but if I don't, you know what it should look like. It's just gonna all look like that. So enjoy. Okay, here's the end of the day update, and it is a great one. All of that area in there, including where the bulldozer's at, and everything back, I stripped today. All stripped down to the clay, ready to haul. So everything in here is ready for me to get a big truck. It went faster than I thought it would. The levee, pond dam, whatever you want to call it, still like 20 feet wide, 20 or 30 feet wide at places. So ultimately it'll all get shaved off or pushed back up to that corner or pushed out here into the trees, but it doesn't need to be 5 feet above grade. I guess if it is, it doesn't really matter. But I can't get up on top of it with the excavator right now. There's my mats. I just don't feel like working on top of them anymore, at least not for today. If I get up here with the excavator, I'll start sinking down and leaving ruts. I don't want to do that. So I've skimmed it all off with the dozer, just so it's, will hopefully help it drain. But once we get all this dug out, and then we go to start sculpting the pond dam, by that point I should be able to get up on top of it with the excavator, and then I'll just reach down the side and I'll drag up with my bucket, and then I'll have the dozer going too to help slope it off. So you look like over here, that drops off way too steep. So it's the same thing. We'll push all that dirt out to make more of the pond dam, and then push it out into the trees as needed, and do the same thing. We'll cut that bank down and make it a smoother bank. So anyway, great day, excellent day. There's dust, which is amazing to see dust out here compared to sloppy mud. A couple things left I'm gonna do right here in front of the dozer. I've got a little cut that I'm going to break across just so if we do get hard rain before I get in here with the truck, which is highly likely, it'll keep all that. I've got all that smoothed off and slicked off, so it'll help it drain, bring it all down here to the deep end. And then I've got, I don't really have a place to set the pump down here. I dug that little shelf to set the pump at one point, which I can do that. My suction hose won't reach all the way to this deepest end, but it'll pump out the bulk majority of it. And then I just have to find some way to set it over there on the dirt pile. Even then, I don't think the suction hose would reach. So, yeah. Anyway, got a lot of clay to dig out, which is great. I'm going to take a dozer, like I said, cut that little ditch there, and then I'm going to go around the corner of the road cut right here and cut a little ditch as well, because there's water standing back on that side. Well, here, I'll just show you that from that perspective. But everything back here looks great. So that's all I was trying to say. This little bit of water right in here, it's only an inch or so deep. It's just everything's so flat I can't get to drain. So I'm gonna take the dozer and just cut a little shallow ditch just right along that side of the road, so all that water can come and drain back into the pond, which it's not gonna make anything significant. It might not even drain it today. I might not actually connect it today, but I want it there just for future, I guess. Anyway, I'll feel better if I do it. Plus, I got the keys to the dozer, so I'm gonna do it. Got the water pump sitting over there behind the excavator running, pumping out my original ditch that I ever dug, if you guys remember that thing. Haven't pumped it out really since I've owned the excavator and done any real work out here, but I did. I got the levee all patched up back there, so outside water can't get into the ditch anymore, at least it shouldn't. So I went ahead and just pumped it out just for the sake of pumping it out. And I think it's gonna be full of fish. I caught some little catfish today in a puddle.